Hi Scorpio, welcome back. This is your extended oracle of love for singles who's coming towards you. I'd now like to look into this person's past relationship. So looking at why their past relationship didn't work and maybe seeing about these outside influences or these outside obstacles I've mentioned, maybe seeing if they are playing a part or they have played a part previously for this person in their past relationship. So let's get into that. So why the relationship went wrong for this person, for Scorpio, and what they're looking for in their next relationship. Okay, Queen of Wands, Ace of Swords, okay, Five of Cups, Queen of Wands. Look, there was a lot of movement and a lot of progress for their previous relationship. There was a lot of battling going on with the Ace of Swords in conjunction with the Five of Cups. It could have been a substance abuse problem. It could have been a battle of domination. It could have been a battle of fighting for affection, fighting for the other. So I think it's more one-sided though. There's definitely this notion with the Ace of Swords that the relationship, it was really, it almost really took a toll on this person and their ex, because for some reason they've really tried with the Ace of Swords. They've tried to cut out certain things in their life to help move this relationship forward. Especially with the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Five of Cups, they had to fight for this relationship. Either because this person or their ex, might have had depression, they might have had a substance abuse problem, could be alcohol, maybe they had bouts of anxiety, maybe they thought, maybe they were very pessimistic and they thought what they had, they took it for granted, they didn't think it was special enough. So there's a certain sadness that's coming here. So I think there's sadness or regret as to why this relationship didn't work out. Because things certainly progressed and there was movement here with the Queen of Wands. But it's also a lion. She rules a sign of Leo. And as much as Leo can be a born leader, there can also be a certain element of pride that comes with this attribute. So this may in fact have affected the relationship not in the best way, with the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Five of Cups. So I think there was, look, there's sadness here, there is. I'm not sure if maybe they've lost someone, not only they've lost a relationship, but maybe they've lost someone because they've passed. And I'm not sure if this somehow affected their relationship or their ex. It could have happened around the ex as well. But it's almost like something happened. We see these spilt cups here. Something happened that really was the last straw, because they've been fighting and pushing and trying for so long. It could even be they were trying for pregnancy for so long and the ex or this woman wasn't able to become pregnant. Because the Queen of Wands can represent this sort of, she's quite sexually open. So it can be fertility, it can be symbolic of fertility, because she does have the flowers as well. She has the wands. She's quite, has this element of fertility and fecundity and nature around her. So it might have been that this person, I hate to say this, but I think through attempting so much to either fall pregnant or just pushing so much energy and just being really forceful with this relationship, actually turn the relationship the other way. And they really had to fight for this person, either fight for their affection. The Queen of Wands does rule affection, and they just felt like they didn't get anywhere. Okay, the Fool, possibly foolish behavior, possibly feeling foolish. This person might have felt foolish for thinking this relationship was something that it just clearly wasn't. Because the Fool card can be this figure that might ignore things around them because they think it's irrelevant or frivolous. or unimportant, or it doesn't apply to them. So there might have been things that went on. I mean, there is a strong sexual energy with the Queen of Wands, so there's possibly deceit here, possibly. I think it's more to do with the fact with the Fool card that this person was fooling themselves. They could see this relationship wasn't going anywhere. There wasn't emotional investment. There wasn't love. They had to really fight at it. It wasn't going the way this person wanted it to. But I feel like they were purposely oblivious to it with the Fool card here. They purposely didn't want to acknowledge what was going on in the relationship, and they just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And then ultimately they just came to this realization that this relationship isn't working. And they could see it. They could see it for what it was, and it was just a no-go. The cups are spilt. It's gone. The love is gone. The affection is gone. The loyalty. And this is how I think they eventually parted ways. And it could also be like this immature energy with the Queen of Wands and the Fool, this certain immaturity that the other person, their ex, was lacking. There's a certain immature element, to this person. Okay, the Emperor. I mean, the Emperor is typically seen as quite a intimidating person, or an intimidating energy here. And we almost see these barren lands behind him. So we obviously think that this person is quite hard to overcome. They might have a good poker face when they're telling you about this relationship, but really I almost feel like there was a no-go zone. There was just something that they couldn't overcome, and they were foolish to think they could, because they just couldn't. It wasn't working. Whether that's because someone was sexually deviant, whether that's because the love was just gone, it's spilt, someone wanted a new beginning elsewhere. But with the Emperor, it's this feeling that it's almost like this feeling that they couldn't break through to the next level of this relationship. It just wasn't working. It wasn't cohesive. I think they wanted different things, possibly at different stages, or couldn't give each other what it is that they wanted. So I think this might be why they're guarded, especially when they come into a relationship with you. But this might be why they are quite guarded, because this Emperor energy around them, they've just either felt intimidated in love, they felt very barren. So it's either they haven't had much meaningful relationships, Scorpio, or that they haven't been able to break down those barriers. But let's have a look and see what happens when the two of you come together. On the left-hand side, I'd like to do how you feel, how you'll feel in this relationship, and how you'll see this other person. And on the right-hand side, I'll do how this person feels about you and how they are in this relationship. Okay, the Sun, really, really beautiful. The Sun is almost like this relationship is going to breathe new life into you. You're going to feel different this time around, Scorpio. This might be a relationship you haven't experienced before here with the Sun card. And you'll feel the extent of the Sun's rays. We see these hands reaching out, and you're just embracing it. I think you're going to embrace a lot of what this person represents and a lot of who this person is. And it's almost like you feel happy, you feel high, you feel committed, you feel there's blessings upon blessings when this person comes into your life. And the Sun can be symbolic of new life, which is in one aspect possibly new life in the form of fertility and children. So there is possibility to have children with this person. But you will feel like this person adores you, that they offer to they either like to spoil you, or they offer to be thoughtful and to be kind and to be appreciative and affectionate. So I think for the most part, the Sun is shining on you. This is really beautiful. Okay, the 8. There'll be cause for worry. 8 of Swords and 8 of Chalices. Okay, the 8 of Swords. So this is you having censorship. This is you closing off for some reason. I think there's duality here. In one aspect, I think you really will be happy. But in another, Scorpio, I see you either fantasizing about something or someone else whilst you're with this person. So as I said, it could be two different people that are coming in, or two different people vying for your attentions and your affections, because you also have the Eight of Chalices. And the Eight of Chalices is fantasy, is illusions, is daydreaming. So I'm not sure if there's a jealous streak within you, and you're going to be conjuring up certain fantasies and thoughts. And my advice to you would be, try not to move this relationship too quickly, too soon. Because as we saw in the past, this person already had this type of relationship with the Queen of Wands, Ace of Swords, where they were just pushing something that's improbable or unlikely at that stage. So it's almost like a message where you'll feel as though sometimes you find yourself, you catch yourself thinking way too far ahead in this relationship with the Eight of Chalices. This is fantasy. This is conjuring up these unrealistic expectations from this person. But you need to remember the kind of relationship they've just been in, and of course the last relationships that you've been in, and what you've learnt and what you do differently. So you're both coming together and you're at different stages. Or maybe you're on the same stage. Maybe you've both come out of a relationship like that. Maybe it's been completely different. But either way, the two eights here can symbolize either jealousy or trust issues. Or it's you fantasizing about someone else when you already have this person around you. But again, because of them being quite guarded, this may see that you find yourself fantasizing about someone else that can make you this offer. But you certainly feel like you're in the spotlight because you have the sun on you. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's another person around this one that's attempting to get your attention, to vie for your love. It could be that for some of you, this relationship doesn't work out straight away. It could be that you for 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months, you come away from each other and then you might come back together. So I think get ready for a roller coaster with this person, Scorpio, because I think there's a lot of duality here. In one aspect, it's going to be lovely. In another aspect, it's going to be quite confronting, and you may find yourself fantasizing about someone else, or fantasizing about maybe even leaving this relationship. For some of you, you'll be with the fantasy card here, with the Eight of Chalices. It's almost like you think this person is too good to be true, and you won't commit. Your thoughts, your anxieties, you don't see how this relationship can happen, and you won't act on it. And you won't allow it to flourish to its full potential because of your own inner anxieties, or because of secretive behavior, or because you're not ready for this person. Let's have a look how they'll be in the relationship, how they feel about you. Okay, Knight of Wands. They do see you as someone they can trust, someone that's quite special. They do want to travel with you. I feel like there's movement because the Knight of Wands does rule movement. There's movement, action, and adventure. So I think they seek these things out in you, and it's almost like they feel like they're going on an adventure. Again, as I said, it's like a roller coaster. Like, buckle yourself in, because I don't think it's going to be a smooth ride all the way. I think there's going to be bumps, there's going to be ups and downs, but I think that's going to bring the two of you stronger together. Again, swift energy. They might be thinking that you might want things to move too quickly for them, and they don't want to be in that situation they were previously. Okay, the Ten of Chalices. There's potential for them to fall in love with you with the Ten of Chalices. This is the Chalice of Souls. So there's a very strong spiritual connection here. It could be a past life connection that's coming in from this person. They may have been in your past life, or vice versa with the Ten of Chalices. This is emotional movement. It can be representative of harmony, a happy union, growth, togetherness. So for some, this person is wanting to get married, wanting to be committed, wanting to say that I love yous quite soon. This is someone who finds you a counterpart of their own soul. So there's a very deep and meaningful connection here with these people, with this person. So if you are in this sort of relationship, or you're seeing someone, or this person is around you and you want it to move quickly, just remember the fact that this person feels they have a soul connection to you, Scorpio. That they have an intense connection that they might not open up about. We saw they were guarded. We saw there could be censorship. So they may not open up straight away, and you won't know this, at least not verbally from them having communicated this to you. But you'll know deep down that this person has a very intense emotional connection, a magnetic connection to you, very karmic, possibly past life or a soul connection here. But they're wanting union, they're wanting a potential happily ever after with you. But as I said, it's not going to be easy. Sacrifices will need to be made. This person has the Hanged Man. They feel like they'll have to sacrifice a lot to be with you. And this could be in several different areas of their life. They might have to sacrifice hours at work. They might have to sacrifice for certain friends because you won't get on with each other. They might have to sacrifice, again, this outside influence keeps coming up. So whether it's a person, it's in-laws, but it's obviously someone that is impacting somehow on the relationship. But they're going to have to drop something or walk away from something to be with you. This is how they see you. Because the Hanged Man in this deck is all about sacrifice. Something's got to give. Something has to change for them to be with you in a harmonious relationship. And maybe they might have a female or a male friend that you might get jealous over. There could be jealousy coming in from you, Scorpio, possessiveness. And they might have to sacrifice a friendship for you. But I feel they're willing to do it. I feel they're willing to take that step with the Ten of Chalices because they know you're worth it. They'll want to commit because they know what they'll get at the end of the day. They know the affection that the deep love that you're so capable of giving, Scorpio, once you let them in completely. Because look what you have in the middle here. Okay, sacrifices have to be made. Obstacles have to be overcome. Fantasies have to be put away. Because look what's in the middle that sits in between the two of you in your relationship, the Ace of Swords. Because it's not going to be smooth sailing. But with the Ace of Swords and slicing away that negativity, slicing away, making those sacrifices, embracing the good, overcoming the bad, you will prevail with the Ace of Swords. So this relationship is going to take work as well. It's not just going to be completely effortless and things will just fall into place so effortlessly. That's not the case. Be prepared, because if you want this relationship and you want to explore this potential soulmate connection here, you'll need to fight for it, and you'll know what that means when the time comes. So I hope that has been insightful for you, Scorpio. Once again, it's been a pleasure.